Hi everybody, Terry Ryder from Hotspotting. House prices continue to rise in March, shrugging off the initial impacts of the virus crisis on real estate. Last night I did a broadcast on new figures from SQM Research, and today CoreLogic has published its latest data on what's happened to prices in March. So now we can say this. New price data published this week by two key research sources reveal that house prices rose in capital cities and in regional markets during the month, despite government restrictions on auctions and open inspections and increasingly negative sentiment in the community. Figures from CoreLogic, which is the most quoted source of price data, show that every capital city and all regional jurisdictions except the Northern Territory recorded rises in house values during March, and there was a similar result for house prices in the latest quarter. Nationally, house prices increased 0.7% and apartment prices 0.6% in March, according to the CoreLogic data out today. Now, SQM Research, which was one of the best and most credible sources of residential real estate data in Australia, also published its weekly report on prices and rents in the 8 capital cities this week. The SQM Research housing indexes record price and rent changes weekly, monthly and in annual terms, and given the recent onset of the virus crisis and the increasing shutdown of normal life in Australia, including with real estate processes like open inspections and auctions, the most interesting and pertinent figures are the weekly and monthly ones. And these figures don't show any major negative reaction to the situation in pricing levels yet, according to SQM Research. Looking at the monthly changes, there have actually been meaningful rises for houses in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Canberra, Darwin and Hobart, and no change for Brisbane. The only city to record a decline in the past month in these figures is Adelaide. Nationally, in monthly terms, the capital city averages were a 0.7% rise for houses and a 0.6% rise for apartments, which is exactly the same result reported by CoreLogic, which is actually unusual. Usually different sources have different numbers. So now I have to say I'm not a big fan of recording price changes for short time periods like weekly or monthly, because the figures for such short time frames can be erratic and ultimately meaningless. But I would have expected to see some evidence in the monthly indexes of some impact by an event as big and as dramatic as the coronavirus and the economic crisis that it's causing. So far, not much evidence of major outcome for prices based on the SQM figures and also the CoreLogic data. But in terms of the virus crisis and its potential impacts on real estate, it's still early. We will await further evidence. And a month from now, both these sources will be publishing data that shows what happened in April, and it may show something different. But I have to say, so far, so good. Bye for now. Let's talk again soon.